Okay, so we're going to look at our Unit 1 review. We're going to do some of these practice problems together. Let's look at number 22. So I want everyone to go to number 22, even if you think it's right. Even if you think your 22 is correct, I want you to go with me to number 22, please. Okay, M is perpendicular. That's what that symbol means. M is perpendicular to N. And what does perpendicular mean, someone? Not the same. It means 90, right? It means that M and N are perpendicular. So we have a 90 degree here, which means we have 90 degrees on this side, 90 degrees all the way around. So we also have some vertical angles. We have this angle and this angle are vertical angles. You guys see that where I put my blue arcs? Okay. You need to be with me on number 22, even if you think it's right. If this bottom one is x plus 21, what does that make this top one up here? X plus 21. So let's go ahead and fill that top one in with x plus 21. Do I need to go the other way so you can see it, sir? We'll put an x plus 21 there. Now, remember I said that these two together make 90, right? These two together make that 90 degrees. So now I can set up an equation that says x plus 21 plus 3x plus 9 equals 90 degrees. And I can solve it from there. Okay? I'm going to let you continue to work on that one. All right. What does a linear pair mean on 23? What does a linear pair mean? 180. So on number 23, you know that those two angles add up to be 180 degrees. That was number 23. Number 24, let's talk about 24. What does complementary mean? 90. So what are we going to do with these two angles? You're missing one piece before that. Before I set them equal to 90, I need to add them together. Kind of that's understood, right? So we're going to add those two angles on number 23. We're going to add them together and set them equal to 90. What about 25? What do we know about vertical angles? They're equal to each other, right? So on number 25, we know vertical angles. That's a vocab word you need to know. They are equal to each other, so I can set those two angles equal to each other. Okay, number 26. You do have one like this on your test, like 26. So let's talk about this one. It says the measure of angle P is 5 less than 4 times the measure of angle Q. If P and Q are supplementary angles, find angle P. All right, that seems like a lot of words. P is 5 less than 4 times the measure of Q. Which angle do we know nothing about? Q, right? It's telling us a description about P, but we don't know anything about Q. So we're going to let Q be just X. So we're going to let the measure of angle Q just be X. Then it says the measure of angle P, so we're going to say, all right, angle P is 5 less than. What does that mean? We're going to subtract 5. We're going to put that at the second half. We're going to put something minus 5. When you see that word than, less than, that means the 5 goes after something. 5 less than 4 times the measure of Q. Well, how much did we say Q was? X. So what would 4 times that be? 4x. Okay? So we're going to put 4x. And they are supplementary, which means they add up to be, they're not the same. Supplementary means they add up to be 180. You need to know that. Okay, let me help you out with this. You have complementary, which is 90, and you have supplementary, which is 180. C comes first in the alphabet, then S. 90 comes before 180. Okay, so think about it that way. It says they are supplementary, which means I'm going to add these two angles together. and set them equal to 180. When you have one of these problems, one of the angles will always be x, the one that you know nothing about, and then you'll use the description to find an expression for the other one. Okay? Once you've found out what x is, you have to make sure, okay, once you found out what x is, you have to make sure that you plug it in for angle P. All right, let's look at 27. Let's look at angle 27. I'm sorry, not angle 27, problem number 27. It says if SV is perpendicular to RT, what does perpendicular mean? 90, right? So SV, let's go ahead and put our 90-degree symbol in here. SV is perpendicular to RT. RSU is 17x minus 3. And UST is 6x minus 1. So we're labeling our diagram. Find each missing angle or measure. Anybody know how we would get started here? We're going to solve. Okay, Elvis, what are we going to do?
Do you equal those two that we wrote down together?
Equal them to each other?
Yeah.
Does it look like this big angle is the same size as this little guy down here? Do they look like they're the same? No? Okay. James?
First, you write your equation.
What is my equation going to be?
180 equals 17x minus 3 plus 6x minus 1.
Okay, so James is recognizing that these two angles together create that line, right? And we said that a line always is 180 degrees. So I know if I add 17x minus 3 plus 6x minus 1, I should get 180 degrees. Does that make sense to you guys? Anyone have questions on that part? Where they add up to be 180? Okay. I would like you to solve for x. Everyone go ahead and solve for x. Everybody should be with me on problem 27. Talia, what'd you get for x? 7.7. Anyone else get 7.7? Shelly, what'd you get?
8.
Anybody else get 8? Did you figure out? Did you add 4? Or did you subtract 4?
I added.
Did you have 184? There you go. Okay, so x is 8, so let's go ahead and put that over there in the diagram. X is 8. Then it says find the measure of angle RSU. Braxton, how am I going to find RSU if I know that x is 8? Excellent. We're going to plug it right in here for x. Okay, go ahead and do that. Figure out how much is RSU if you know that x is 8. Katie, what'd you get for RSU? 133. Anybody echo 133? Good. Okay, then what about UST? What are you going to do to find UST? Carla?
You take. I didn't write it down.
That's okay. Look.
You plug in the 8, where the X is and the 6.
Perfect. Okay, go ahead and find out how much is UST. Caitlin? 47. Anyone else get 47? 6 times 8 is 48. 48 minus 1? 47. Okay, so now we have a little bit of some work to do. I'm going to erase this part of my diagram. I know that this angle is 47 degrees. I also know that this is 90 still. We said these two angles right here are vertical angles, right? You're looking at my diagram so you can see what I'm talking about? So if this top one is 47, how much is angle RSW?
47.
It's also 47, right? Because angles that are across from each other are vertical and they're congruent. So RSW, unfortunately that wasn't one of the ones they asked me for. However, what do I know about these two angles right here? They have to equal what? 90. So if I know that one of them's 47, I could figure out how much that other one is, right? So we could say, we can call that one y if we wanted to show our work, and we could say 47 plus y has to equal 90. Because I know that these two angles right here make 90 degrees. So I'm going to add this one plus this one to make 90. Okay? Who have I not called on yet? Natasha, what'd you get? 43? Okay, so WSV is 43 degrees. And then the last one asked me for VSU. Okay, VSU. Chris, tell me how you're going to find VSU.
You're going to subtract the 43 from WSV and 80.
Say that again.
You're going to subtract from 180, 43.
Okay, so you said this angle right here is 43, right? And all three of these together make 180, so you're subtracting 43 from it. Okay, that would work. Another way you could do it if you didn't want to do subtraction is you know that VSU are these two angles together. One of them is 47 and then this one was 90. So we could add 47 and 90 together. You could do it that way. 47 and 90 is 137. Chris, did you get that same answer when you did it your way?
Yep.
Perfect.
Knowing that the 180
43. Because we knew that this was a straight line. Okay. On number 28, it says if KM bisects, what does it mean if you bisect something? You cut it in half, which means these are congruent. On your test, you must mark things congruent if they are. So when you see that word bisect, you need to make sure you're putting your arcs on your angles. All right? If it's bisected, interestingly, this one says that JKL, so this big thing out here, can you guys see it? I need to probably move it up. The big angle is 92. Not just one of the little ones. So if you don't read it, you're not going to do it correctly. I know that these two are the same. This big one out here is 92. Then it says MKL is 5x plus 1. So in here is 5x plus 1. Am I just going to set 5x plus 1 equal to 92? No, because that's not going to make sense. Go ahead, Katie. 5x plus 1 twice, right? Because if these are the same, then angle JKM is also 5x plus 1.
I have a question.
Yeah,
What if we divided 92 by 2?
that would work as well. Yep. And so you set it equal to, what is that, 46?
Yeah. and
Yep.
then just-
You would get the same answer. Okay, so we know that those two added together make 92. Let's look at number 29 quickly. EF bisects AED. So EF bisects AED, which means this angle is congruent to this angle. So we need to make sure we mark that in our diagram. Sorry, Talia. AEF is 4x plus 3. And FED is 7x minus 33. Braxton, what are we going to do with those two angles? What? I didn't hear you. What are we going to do with those two angles, Braxton? Set them what? Do they equal each other or do they equal 180, you think? Good, they equal each other. Perfect. So I'm going to set 4x plus 3 equals 7x minus 33. Whoa. Not 180, because they're not a straight line, right? But we do know that it's bisected. So we're going to set them equal to each other. Yeah, plus 3. Sorry. Thank you. So I'm getting x to be 12. But it's asking me to find CEB. CEB is this big angle over here. How am I going to find CEB? Anyone? Ashley?
Yeah, like we plug into for x for both of those, and then we'll get the plus.
Okay, I think what Ashley's trying to say is that these two up top, if you add them together, they are a vertical angle with the one on the bottom. Is that what you're saying? So if I know how much this one and this one is, I can add them together. Okay? Chris?
102.
What? Oh, you're wanting to tell me your answer. Okay. Just a second. Go ahead and plug x in. We'll see if we get the same answer Chris did. Okay, Chris, you said you got what?
102.
Measure of angles CEB is 102. Does anyone else agree with 102? Echo, echo, echo. Good. Excellent. 102 degrees. Make sure that you're putting measure of angle CEB there. Okay. Okay. Are you feeling a little bit better about this? Now that we did some of these together? Ashley Spence, shake your head yes.